Hello, gentlemen. People often think danger is loud. A shout, a threat, a show of dominance. But the truth is, real power doesn't roar. It whispers. It moves in silence, leaves no trace, and doesn't waste a drop of energy proving itself to anyone. And that's exactly where the Sigma male separates himself from the crowd. He isn't feared because he's reckless or violent. He's feared because he's deliberate, independent, and completely beyond control. Let me ask you, have you ever had people underestimate you, only to shock them later by what you were capable of? If so, you're going to connect with what's coming next. If you're the type of man who walks his own path, ignores the noise, and refuses to let the world tell you who to be, you're not broken. You're built differently. And if that resonates with you, stick with me, because what we're about to cover might just explain why you've always felt out of place in a world that wants everyone to think the same. You're not weak for walking alone. In fact, that's your greatest strength. Your ability to detach from the herd, think for yourself, and move quietly makes you far more dangerous than most people ever realize. But that kind of power carries weight and responsibility. A Sigma doesn't waste time with petty drama, emotional battles, or meaningless distractions. He builds, he observes, he acts with precision. And by the time the world catches on, he's already 10 steps ahead. And here's the part most people miss. This quiet approach is exactly what makes them unstoppable, and you're about to see why. This isn't about ego. It's about knowing exactly who you are and using that understanding wisely. If you've seen these traits in yourself, don't doubt them. Own them, master them, and above all, never let the world tame you. Because if you do, you give away the very thing that makes you dangerous. So let's get into it. Number 1. He knows when to play the fool. Most people think intelligence needs to be broadcast like a badge you wear on your chest. They believe the loudest voice in the room must be the smartest one. The guy correcting everyone, flexing his knowledge, proving his point. But the Sigma male knows better. His power lies in patience. He understands that sometimes the smartest move is to let others think he's slow, distracted, or even clueless. He'll let the arrogant run their mouths, let the manipulative think they're in control, let his competition assume they have the upper hand. Why? Because fools reveal themselves when they think no one is watching. While others rush to prove how clever they are, the Sigma listens. He studies their habits, picks up on the things they say without meaning to, and quietly collects every piece of information he needs. Every boast, every slip-up, every careless assumption about him becomes ammunition. And then, when the moment is right, he flips the entire game. By the time his opponent realizes what happened, it's already over. The Sigma never had to argue, never had to prove anything. He simply let them prove they weren't as smart as they thought. Number 2. He doesn't signal his intentions, he executes. Most people can't help but give themselves away. They drop hints, overshare, or let their emotions leak through. Even when they think they're being secretive, their impatience or body language gives them up. That's why they're so easy to predict and easy to stop. But the Sigma? He moves in silence. He doesn't talk about what he's going to do. He just does it. No approval seeking, no warning, no build-up. When he acts, it's clean, precise, and devastatingly effective. By the time anyone realizes what's happening, the move is already finished. That's why his unpredictability feels dangerous. Not because he's reckless, but because he's in complete control. He isn't emotional. He's strategic. While everyone else is busy trying to figure out his next step, he's already 5 steps past them, ready to strike exactly when it matters most. And when it's done, he doesn't brag about it. He doesn't need to. The results speak for themselves. He doesn't play games. He ends them. Number 3. He masters the art of psychological warfare. Most people fight with words, fists, or emotions. They argue, they yell, they try to overpower others in the open. The Sigma doesn't waste energy like that. He fights in the shadows, in the mind. He knows that true dominance is subtle. It's not about throwing the hardest punch. It's about controlling the story, bending the narrative, shaping the outcome without ever raising your voice. When he wants to dismantle someone, he doesn't go straight for the throat. He plants a single doubt, a quiet seed, and lets the target destroy themselves. He'll twist one phrase in a conversation, plant an idea so gently that you think it was your own, and step back as the other person spirals. This is chess, not checkers. And by the time his target realizes what happened, it's too late. Their confidence is cracked, their ego is broken, and they can't even figure out where they lost control. And the Sigma? He's already gone. Silent, unbothered, untouchable. He doesn't waste energy on open battles, but if someone crosses him, he'll make sure they never want to try again. Number 4, he has no problem burning bridges. Most people cling to relationships out of habit, guilt, or fear. They hold on to people who drain them, disrespect them, or hold them back just to avoid being alone. But the Sigma male doesn't play that game. For him, loyalty is a choice, not a chain. If someone proves themselves disloyal, manipulative, or a threat to his growth, he doesn't sit around debating it. He doesn't beg, argue, or wait for them to change. He simply cuts the tie. No drama, no warnings, no second chances. And when he walks away, it's final. That's what makes it dangerous. People assume his patience means forgiveness. They mistake his silence for acceptance. But the moment they cross the line, they're gone. Unlike others who burn bridges in anger, the Sigma does it calmly, cleanly, with zero regret, because he knows some connections were never meant to last. The Sigma acts with absolute precision. He doesn't just cut people off, he erases them from his world completely. He removes access, breaks every point of dependency, and moves forward as though they never existed at all. There's no door left open, no second chance, no coming back. In his mind, they were gone long before he ever took action. Some might call it cold, even ruthless. The Sigma calls it survival. He refuses to be weighed down by deadweight or drained by people who bring nothing but problems to his life. And here's the key, he isn't afraid to walk alone. Unlike most, he doesn't fear solitude. He thrives in it. So if a Sigma ever cuts you out, understand this. It wasn't a random decision. You were studied, evaluated, and ultimately deemed unworthy of his time and energy. And once that decision is made, there's no undoing it. Number 5, he can outlast anyone in a mental battle. Most people collapse under pressure. They get impatient, emotional, or desperate when things don't go their way. They lunge too soon, make reckless moves, and drain themselves trying to force an outcome. But not the Sigma male. Pressure doesn't break him, it fuels him. His mind is wired differently. While others panic, he remains steady, cold, and calculating. He doesn't allow frustration to cloud his judgment, doesn't fall for emotional traps, and never wastes energy fighting battles that don't matter. If someone tries to outsmart him, he outthinks them. If they try to outmaneuver him, he outweights them. If they try to break him, he simply lets them destroy themselves first. The secret to his strength? Patience. Sigma males know most people are addicted to instant results. They want quick victories, easy wins, fast gratification, and that hunger makes them sloppy. So the Sigma waits, watches, and observes as they burn themselves out, doubt their own strategies, and finally collapse under their own impatience. And when they do, that's when he moves. His mental endurance isn't just about intelligence, it's about emotional control. He controls his impulses, his timing, and most importantly, the pace of the fight. Because in a war of minds, it's not about who moves first, it's about who moves last. And the Sigma always moves last. Number 6. He's willing to do what others won't. Most people have invisible lines they refuse to cross, discomfort they won't endure, sacrifices they won't make. Those limits keep them safe, but they also keep them average. The Sigma male? He has no such limits. He knows the hard truth. Growth begins where comfort ends. Where others hesitate, he advances. Where others quit, he digs in deeper. He's the one staying up all night mastering a skill while the rest of the world sleeps. He's the one working in silence while everyone else is posting for attention. He's the one who keeps moving long after everyone else has tapped out. He doesn't fear struggle. He embraces it because he knows that the other side of pain is power. In business, he'll take the risks no one else dares to. In relationships, he refuses to settle for anything shallow. In his personal goals, he will never be outworked. He isn't competing with others. He's competing with his own limits, breaking them over and over until there's nothing left but progress. And that's what makes him dangerous. You can try to keep up with his focus, but eventually you'll get tired. You can try to match his endurance, but eventually you'll slip. Because while most people need comfort just to function, the Sigma operates without it. And when the pressure gets unbearable, when everyone else has quit, the Sigma male is still there, calm, focused, unstoppable. Number 7. He becomes more powerful when pushed into a corner. The biggest mistake anyone can make with a Sigma male is assuming he'll break under pressure. When most people are cornered, they panic. They overreact, make sloppy moves, and self-destruct. But not the Sigma. When his back is against the wall, he becomes sharper, deadlier, more dangerous. He doesn't waste energy on fear. He stays calm, his mind razor-focused, calculating every possible move, every angle, every escape route. That pressure doesn't crush him, it forges him. While others fall apart, he adapts. He studies his surroundings, takes in every detail, and finds the most effective way to turn the situation to his advantage. And when he finally moves, it's not an act of desperation. It's an act of total control. By the time his opponent realizes what's happening, it's already too late. The Sigma male doesn't just survive when he's pushed to his limits. He wins, and he wins so cleanly, so efficiently, that everyone watching is left in awe. Number 8. He learns from every attack. Most people get tricked the same way over and over. They fall for the same lies, get manipulated by the same tactics, and never truly grow from it. Not the Sigma. If you think you can play him, deceive him, or use him, you get exactly one chance. The very moment you try, he dissects everything, your strategy, your mindset, your methods, and he files it away. Every attack against him becomes a blueprint of how you operate, and from that moment on, you'll never catch him the same way twice. He adjusts. He adapts. He strengthens his defenses. Every failure, every betrayal, every attempt to manipulate him just makes him more precise, more calculating, more unshakable. Where others become bitter or broken, the Sigma male becomes sharper and more dangerous. So if you cross him once, be prepared, you'll never catch him off guard again. You've already shown your hand, and from that moment forward, you've already lost. Number 9. He moves in silence until it's too late. The Sigma male has no interest in announcing his plans, seeking validation, or making dramatic threats. He doesn't talk about what he's going to do, he just does it. While others are busy warning the world about their next move, he's already 3 steps into execution. He operates in silence, under the radar, gathering exactly what he needs, waiting for the perfect moment. Most people think they have time to prepare, to react, to fight back. But by the time they even notice what's happening, it's already done. That's why his presence feels so dangerous, because you never see the strike coming until it's far too late to stop it. This quiet, methodical approach is exactly what makes the Sigma male so dangerous. There are no warning shots, no build-up, no dramatic displays. He doesn't feel the need to make noise or draw attention. His power is in his unpredictability. His next move is already in motion before anyone even realizes something is happening. In a world full of people who love to talk, boast, and broadcast every little plan, the Sigma stands apart. He's not chasing applause, not looking for validation. He's focused entirely on results, and that's why he's always several steps ahead. His silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. By the time you even notice you've been outmaneuvered, you're already too far behind to catch up. Number 10. He lets others think they have the upper hand. The most dangerous people are rarely the ones shouting the loudest or putting on the biggest show. The real threat is the person who quietly allows you to believe you're in control, while secretly pulling every string in the background. That's the true power of the Sigma male. He knows exactly when to step back and simply observe. He lets egos swell, lets pride get comfortable, and allows the arrogant to reveal their entire playbook. Why? Because he doesn't need to prove anything. He's playing a game most people don't even know exists. Sometimes letting someone think they've won is the best way to set them up for the moment that really matters. While they're busy inflating their own importance, the Sigma is gathering intel, understanding their weaknesses, and planning the perfect strike. He doesn't rush. He's patient. And when the timing is perfect, he makes his move, and the so-called dominant person suddenly realizes they were never in control. This is what makes the Sigma such a silent force to be reckoned with. He lets others dance, believing they're leading, only to reveal he was conducting the entire performance all along. By the time he executes, there's nothing left for anyone to do. It's already over. For him, it's not about flexing power. It's about maintaining absolute control until the moment comes to act with precision. Number 11. He doesn't need to be liked, so he does what must be done. Most people hesitate when it comes to tough decisions because they're terrified of losing approval. They worry about what others will think, who they might upset, or what comfort they might lose. Not the Sigma male. He doesn't crave applause. He doesn't need anyone's permission. He doesn't measure himself by how many people like him. When something needs to be done, no matter how difficult, uncomfortable, or ruthless it may seem, he simply does it. No hesitation. No second-guessing. He has the rare ability to focus on what's necessary rather than what's popular. Sometimes that means making decisions others wouldn't dare make. Sometimes it means cutting ties, standing alone, or taking the path that draws criticism. But he doesn't mind because he knows that being liked is temporary, but results last forever. Where others cower or look for the easy way out, the Sigma male makes the hard call without flinching. And that's what makes him truly dangerous. He will do what no one else will, simply because it's what needs to be done. Being a Sigma isn't about chasing power, dominance, or recognition. It's about mastering yourself, your mind, your emotions, and the way you move through the world. You don't waste energy proving yourself. You don't seek validation. And because of that, you move differently, calm, precise, and impossible to predict. Your strength doesn't come from loudness or aggression. It comes from restraint, discipline, and silence. While others broadcast their every move, you execute in silence. While they react with emotion, you stay calculating and calm. And while they fear being alone, you welcome solitude, using it as your forge to sharpen your mind and perfect your strategy. What makes you truly dangerous isn't just that you can outthink, outlast, and outmaneuver almost anyone. It's that you don't need to be seen to win. You strike only when it matters. You adapt when the situation demands it. And when the world gets too noisy, you disappear. Not in defeat, but in preparation. Until it's time to return, stronger than ever. But here's the secret most people miss. Your power isn't just in staying hidden. It's in knowing the exact moment to step into the light. The world will always underestimate the lone wolf, the one who doesn't follow trends, who can't be manipulated, and that underestimation. That's your greatest weapon. So keep moving in silence. Keep mastering yourself. Let the world talk, let them doubt, because by the time they realize who you really are, it will already be too late. If this spoke to you, if you're walking your own path, hit that like button, subscribe to Epic Persona, and share your thoughts below. Tell me, what's one goal you're working on in silence right now? Because the Sigma's strength isn't just in thinking differently, it's in becoming unstoppable. Stay sharp, stay relentless, stay Sigma. This is Epic Persona.